The steady hum of the engines filled the cabin, a lullaby of altitude and routine. Row 10 was quiet, half asleep under the soft flicker of overhead lights. Outside, the world was darkness, a starless sky swallowed by cloud. Somewhere above the Atlantic, Flight 472 cruised through the night, its passengers lost between time zones and dreams. She, Captain Aaron Locke, though no one here knew that name, was slumped against the window, baseball cap low, a worn leather jacket zipped to her chin. Her military duffel was stowed neatly under the seat, the faded patch of the 121st Fighter Squadron barely visible. She had boarded late, quiet, offering a polite nod and no conversation. Her seatmate had taken her for a tired business traveler, maybe a contractor. The seatbelt sign chimed softly, and the flight attendants moved through the aisles with weary professionalism. Then, a sudden jolt. A hard one, the kind that rattled the tray tables and made hearts skip. Gasps erupted. The plane dipped, then steadied, barely. Aaron's eyes opened instantly. A smell of burnt wiring filled the air. Oxygen masks trembled in their compartments. Someone screamed from the rear. The intercom crackled. "This is your captain speaking." The voice was tense, shaking. "We're experiencing some control issues with the aircraft. Please remain seated. We are working too." The transmission cut off in a burst of static. Aaron unbuckled slowly. Her training snapped back like muscle memory. She scanned the cabin, two flight attendants whispering urgently by the galley, one passenger crying, another trying to pray. Then the door to the cockpit opened, and a man stumbled out, face pale, uniform soaked in sweat. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, but his voice cracked. "Is there anyone on board with flight experience? Military or civilian?" The cabin froze. People turned, wide-eyed, searching each other's faces. No one spoke. The captain's gaze swept across the rows, and then his eyes landed on row 10. Aaron stood, calmly, quietly, her cap still low. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Autopilot's down. Co-pilot's injured. Hydraulic pressure dropping. I can't trim the left aileron manually, she's pulling hard." The passengers around her stared, bewildered. Aaron's jaw tightened. She nodded once. "Show me." He hesitated, then stepped aside. The moment she entered the cockpit, everything changed, the smell of ozone, the warning alarms, the red glow of malfunction indicators. She slid into the right seat, hands moving with practiced precision. "Flight control assist off," she said, flipping a switch. "Manual override engaged. You're losing lateral control from hydraulic B. Bypass through secondary if you can." The captain blinked. "You've done this before." She gave a small, almost tired smile. "You could say that." Outside, lightning flashed across the clouds. The aircraft shuddered again. Aaron gripped the yoke, steadying the plane's roll. "Let's keep her level," she said, voice steady. "You just keep breathing, Captain. I've got her." For the first time since the turbulence began, the flight deck felt still. And somewhere in row 10, a forgotten duffel bag lay quiet, its patch now fully visible, U.S. Air Force, combat pilot. The cockpit was chaos, warning lights flashing amber and red, alarms beeping in a frantic chorus. Rain streaked across the windshield, streaking the view of black clouds and lightning. Aaron Locke braced her boots against the rudder pedals, her hands gripping the yoke as she fought the aircraft's violent roll. "Hydraulic B is gone," the captain shouted over the blaring stall warning. "We're losing elevator control. Then we go manual," Aaron said, her tone calm but commanding. "Kill the secondary pump before it burns out. I'll handle pitch trim by hand." Her voice carried the weight of someone who'd seen worse skies. With smooth, deliberate movements, she adjusted the yoke, countering the lurching turbulence. The plane steadied slightly, enough for the captain to stare at her, eyes wide with disbelief. "Who are you?" he managed. "Call me Aaron," she said without looking up. "Flew a -10s for 12 years. Combat flight instructor, 121st Squadron." The captain blinked, stunned silent. "You're military." "Was," she corrected. "Let's focus on getting your bird back in one piece." The intercom buzzed to life. "Captain, this is the cabin crew, we've got passengers panicking." "Are we?" Aaron grabbed the mic before the captain could respond. Her voice came out steady, clipped, and professional. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aaron Locke speaking from the cockpit. We've had a mechanical issue, but the aircraft is under control. Please stay seated, keep your belts fastened, and trust us, we'll bring you home." The cabin went silent. Her tone had the unmistakable authority of someone who knew what she was doing. Down in row 10, Passengers who had seen her stand now whispered among themselves. She's flying it, that woman's flying the plane. Back in the cockpit, Aaron's eyes darted over the dials. Altitude, 24,000 and dropping fast, the captain replied. Nearest field is in the Azores, but we'll never make it if the elevators jam. Aaron flipped open the emergency panel, scanning the schematics. We can bleed pressure from system A into B. Give me a wrench and a prayer. The captain stared, bewildered. That's not in the manual. She shot him a look. Combat zones don't come with manuals. Lightning cracked outside, illuminating her face, focused, unflinching. She reached beneath the console, sparks flickering as she reconnected a bypass. The alarms ceased one by one, replaced by a soft, rhythmic hum. Pressure restored, she said, almost casually. You've got your elevators back. Let's start a controlled descent. The captain exhaled a trembling laugh. You just saved 200 people. Aaron smiled faintly, eyes fixed on the horizon. Just another night flight. As the storm cleared, dawn began to rise, a thin band of gold breaking through the clouds. The passengers, still shaken but alive, had no idea that their quiet traveler from Row 10 had once been one of the Air Force's finest combat pilots. And somewhere far below, the ocean reflected the light of a jet brought safely home by a sleeping legend who never truly rested.